Yo, YouTube, what is up? Radar25 back again with my co-host, Michael Fuentemania. Whatever this
What up,
motherfucker is called.
Marks?
What's up, guys? We're back again with another video, another takeaway video. It's going to be 3 takeaways from Monday Night Raw. Kind of a lackluster show. A lot of misses. Ratings keep dropping. Money in the Bank build up.
Really.
We got to see the top of corporate headquarters with the ring and everything set up. They showed it really quickly, so we got to see that. Looks pretty cool. I'm excited for the pay-per-view, even though the build-up hasn't been all that great. A lot of weird stuff went on in the show, but we'll get into that. Before we do, want to remind you guys, drop a like on this video, previous videos, hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed, notification bell so you guys aren't missing anything when this video drops. My next video, I'm dropping a funny-ass Call of Duty video coming up soon, probably tonight or tomorrow, so check out for that. Follow me on social media, Instagram, Twitter, links in the description below, also pop out on the bottom of the screen and at the end of the video. Pretty much that is it. We appreciate you guys for watching. We're about to get into this video. 3 takeaways from Monday Night Raw. All right, guys, so the show started with the VIP Lounge. MVP's talk show thingy that he does, and he had
the only lounge open in America.
As it is true, the only lounge and discotheque open in America right now at this point in time. Now, he introduced Rey Mysterio, Apollo Cruz, Aleister Black. Having a conversation with them about them being in the Money in the Bank match. This just all seemed like it was just to build up Apollo Cruz because he seemed like the odd man out and not really the guy anybody really cared about or saw.
He's done nothing for like 3 years, so it's like, what is the guy doing here? But
and he did minimum in NXT, right? Because he was only there for a little bit and brought him up quickly. So
we always said like they sped him way too fast. Like he needed to sit down there in NXT for a bit longer, probably like another year longer.
Yeah,
for being honest.
He needed that. So they do the lounge thing, and this is takeaway number 1, VIP lounge, we'll call it. Takeaway number 1 of the night, 1 of 3, and it's just a build up to Apollo and to the match. And then they had Zelina Vega and her stable come out, which we got shit on last week, and we're trying to take it as serious this week, I guess. But whatever they built was destroyed last week. If they're gonna try to build it back up, good on them. But they messed up last week.
It doesn't make any sense. Why'd you especially 2 weeks ago they were on every segment, then they were losing last week, and then this week they're on every segment again. It's just like,
I mean, I feel like they couldn't get Seth Rollins in the building to feud with face-to-face with Drew McIntyre, so they just fed McIntyre the stable to have them in there in the meantime until they can get Seth Rollins into the Orlando area to be on the show. Because I think he is an Ohio guy. I think he lives in Ohio
Iowa,
or in that area, Illinois, Iowa,
like
area.
in the Midwest. But it kills it because now they look even worse because they got their ass kicked by Drew, and then Drew was there. They've completely avoided him, so it just chopped up a story for one day and just kind of I don't know. They were going somewhere and just it's all over the place.
Yeah, they needed a quick foil to hold the place until Rollins could get into town and be here tonight.
Yeah, and we know the reason why, but it's just damn, it just kind of you get excited for something and then it just ruins it 5 minutes later.
No, there's an obvious reason. It's because what's going on right now, but it doesn't excuse the fact that you still destroyed the stable that you had built up for 1 week that people, me, myself, and you were excited about.
We were excited.
And you kind of destroyed it the week after. But they interrupt the VIP lounge. And, this is okay. I'm basically saying that they were saying the stable was saying that they should get their spots, right? They should give up the guys in the ring should give their spots to Andrade, Garza, and Theory for the Money in the Bank. Okay.
All right, whatever.
Yeah.
And then Ray's you ain't come out for that. You came out for a fight, and then a quick fight ensues. Zelina Vega looking like she's going to a strip club or
heels
crazy pink heels were ridiculous. About to break an ankle, especially copying out the ring. She was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Bad choice, girl. Bad choice. So they went up a match. They went to commercial. They came back. They were in a 3-way tag team match, 3-on-3 tag team match, which was okay. Wasn't anything special. It was basically just setting up Apollo and Andrade for later on for the U.S. title because Apollo gets a clean win, 1-2-3 on Andrade, the U.S. champion. So it was that's one of the first times we've ever seen him actually do something well, win or go over.
I mean, the thing is that he's a talented guy in the ring. All that stuff has a tremendous look to him, but he's just lacking, I guess, the charisma or the mic skills.
He's just dry. He's got the Bobby Lashley dry. He's just dry as a 93-year-old grandmother. He's just really, really dry. It's kind of the weight. But both those guys are just kind of the same mold where they're just these good-looking guys that can do everything except, come out excitement through the camera. The ooze, the charisma, ooze, the it factor. They just
basically
don't really have
they lack the ability or haven't shown the ability to really get you invested in them.
Yeah, like they can connect with the crowd. And it kind of sucks. Like there's a promo later on where whatever, he gets a clean win. There's a promo later on where it's between Andrade and Apollo, and basically setting up a U.S. title match for later on Raw. And he slaps the shit out of Andrade. It's the loudest slap I've ever seen. And she was like crack, like hella hard. It was great, but he was trying to cut this like babyface 80s style promo, and just like
it wasn't working. Yeah,
it wasn't working, man. It wasn't working. It just wasn't working. But
this is a trend you see with these guys like Cedric Alexander. What do you call it? Ricochet. Other guys like that. Who else is like that? There's a handful of guys who just they're there. They do cool moves, but other than that, they're just not connecting. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not connecting.
Like to be a star, you need. Like sometimes the wrestling isn't even that important. Like Hulk Hogan wasn't exactly gonna throw you a 5-star match, but he knew how to get the crowd back behind him and excited for a match. And I think that's more important than actual in-ring skill sometimes.
Because look at a guy like Velveteen Dream, right? Yeah, he's a mega star. You can just look at him, the way he carries himself, the way he is. Even if he's pretty solid in the ring. Does some cool moves here and there. I like his in-ring style. But his character, his persona is so over the top and so well done that a guy like that is what these guys need. Not to be like outlandish as that, but just to have a connection and that charisma, and people want to see you, not just because the moves in the ring don't sell shit. They don't sell you.
Shirts, they don't sell.
Yeah, because like you could have two guys that are awesome wrestlers and be super excited, like because you think it's gonna be a good match, but you have to be invested in them, and being invested in them it comes from other stuff, comes from the personality, either whether it be inside, outside the ring on YouTube, whatever the hell the case may be. But that's what happens. So many guys are just lacking that. And maybe they have it, but they just haven't unlocked it yet. Mysterio.
According to guys like Jim Cornette and Bruce Pritchard, you either have it or you don't. So
true story. So Rey Mysterio, Aleister Black, Apollo Cruz get the win. Cruz pins Andrade. And there's a little bit of dissension there in the crew of Zelina Stable, because Andrade in that post-match interview, he said that his team let him down. Talking about Garza in theory.
So maybe this crew isn't meant for the long run. Probably just meant for up until this is over, basically. Which could be for the long run.
This was a good 6-man tag, though.
It was solid. It was a good little match.
Next thing on the show, which is a match that they shouldn't have even done. They should have held this match. This is a match they could have in their back pocket for later on. It was Shayna Baszler, Asuka, Nia Jax. Right? You hear those names, and you're like, oh shit! This would be like a main event pay-per-view type match, right? A main event anywhere in the country.
Complete dud.
Yeah, complete dud. Yeah, it was sloppy, messy, didn't need to happen, accomplished absolutely nothing. Nia Jax got the win, correct?
Yeah. Well, she got the win, and then she threw both girls out. And she threw both girls out. And like Shayna's been built as this monster, and she's a monster, and somehow they both get knocked out. Asuka and Shayna, and then Shayna's sitting there kind of beat up for the first time, and even when she lost to Becky, she didn't get beat up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's just like, I get you're trying to sell Nia as this monster, but the more believable monster, I'm sorry, is Shayna, because
Shayna Baszler.
Kick someone's ass.
Yeah, because if you're building one up as a monster by having her break two girls' arms, and then you have another one, and then all of a sudden you put them together in a triple threat, and you have one kind of kind of dominate the other one, or whatever the case may be. It hurts. I think it hurts. It shouldn't have been done. It should have done something different. This triple threat, you could have held it for a while. I know they're in Money in the Bank, but still, I hated this.
It didn't make any sense. Nope. Man, just booking.
And was it Nia Jax had an interview with Charlie Caruso afterwards, and it was kind of
and she just yelled at Charlie. Poor Charlie she was all over the place. Charlie today, beautiful woman, so it's fine. But Charlie.
Well, next thing we had on the show was Bobby Lashley in the backstage with Lana saying, telling her to stay back there because she's a distraction, even though he's facing an enhancement guy in Denzel Lasernet, right? So Bobby Lashley versus Denzel Lasernet. We've seen this guy a few times. He gets beat all the time. So another squash match. Lashley dominates the shit out of him. But Lashley, nobody cares about him right now. Nobody cares what he's doing. And the Lana thing is over.
The Lana thing is so dead and over, and it needs to be just done with. And the fact that you're really worried about being distracted by your so-called wife versus a guy that is a million levels under you, like, come on, how does that even make me look like you're the almighty? You're fucking being a little bitch, basically. Just move on with Bobby. I'm sorry about it.
Move on with Bobby, because as of right now, nobody really cares.
Nobody gives a shit.
Yeah, nobody cares at this point. Now, next thing on the show was a rematch for some odd reason. Liv Morgan, Ruby Riott. They had their match last week. Seemed like when Liv Morgan won last week, this feud was over. It was rushed. It was just, just thrown to the side, and it was what it was.
This is even more rushed.
Yeah, and then this one was even more rushed because Liv Morgan won pretty quickly. She beats Ruby Riott two weeks in a row. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. I mean, it's fine. They're building Liv Morgan as like a contender.
Yeah, but she had a promo after the match.
But Ruby just seems like she's kind of useless right now.
Especially after
she's underrated, and she should be more of a contender. But this feud was hurt, from the beginning. When it felt like it was built up at Elimination Chamber, and they kind of just shit on it afterwards, and didn't use it after that. So Liv Morgan cut a promo afterwards, and it was But Liv Morgan, they're building up, so good for her. Next thing on the show, it was
the Viking Raiders promo where they were talking up that they were just saying a bunch of nonsense, basically, just nothing really that important. Just basically setting up a match between the Street Profits for next week, and the Street Profits show up a little later, have the same type of promo. We have a tag team match this week. Should be a good match, and should be good. But other than that, nothing to say that really that was special.
Yeah. Now, next thing on the show after that was the return of Jinder Mahal, and he's taking on Akira Tozawa. Mahal gets the win. It was a solid, good match. Good to see him back. Mahal, he hasn't really changed much in terms of he has really short hair now, but in terms of his in-ring style, it's pretty much the same. He hasn't developed anything new to his repertoire. I don't know how they're going to build him when he comes back. They're going to build him as a championship threat or as just another guy who's going to be fighting for a 24/7 championship and kind of on the show.
Well, they haven't. Well, they basically were really throwing the whole thing with getting the point across that he was a former champion 2 years ago. He was like 6 months. Like they really were trying to sell that. So hopefully it's another guy maybe later on for Drew.
McIntyre, it'll be cool. They have a history on there, so cool to see them go against each other. Yeah.
But too bad the third member of the
too bad he's later than release, so he's not.
So,
maybe they bring him back for that, but let's see what happens.
Maybe,
yeah. Now Tozawa's just the unlucky one. He seems to be just there, so they could bring him in. He's in the NXT tournament cruiserweight, so he's just there, so they bring him out to lose. So it is what it is. Sucks for Tozawa, but good to see the modern day Maharaja back and getting a win.
Yep.
Next thing on the show, is takeaway number 2 of the night, and it has to do more with Apollo Cruz, and this is the match between Apollo Cruz and Andrade for the U.S. Championship. This was a very good match. I enjoyed it. Now, we have an injury angle, or if it's legitimate. I mean, I don't think it is. Maybe he has like a different, or maybe he has an injury. He's not cleared to compete at Money in the Bank, and they just set this up now. I don't know, but it was a good match. But Apollo Cruz selling the knee for the majority of the match, and Andrade working the knee for the most of the match, right? And then he's selling the knee for the entire match. Then Cruz goes up to the top rope, jumps off. Andrade moves. Cruz lands. I guess he lands awkwardly, hurts the knee even more, and they stop the match. But it wasn't like like a legitimate stoppage where the referee puts up the X and then the guys come out to help him, the medical crew and anything like that. Nothing like that.
And we've been there live event where they've had that, where they do the X, the guy's bleeding too much. Samoa Joe versus who was it? Finn Balor in NXT Dallas. NXT Dallas, where he was bleeding and like we were all saying PG sucks. And this is this is where us knowing that they have the like all those codes and all the tells where the X or where they grab the referee, squeeze the hands, make sure they squeeze back. That's where that stuff that we know that exists kind of kills these fake injuries where it's like, that's not a real injury. So
I mean, we hope this isn't a legitimate injury and escape, because later on the show, Paulo Cruz in the medical room, Charlie Caruso is trying to interview him, and he's on crutches and he's crying and does an interview and he just walks away. He kind of crutches away. We don't know. I mean, they already announced that he's not cleared to compete for Money in the Bank. So there's 2 open slots now for Money in the Bank. Who they're going to put in there, I don't know. If this is an angle, I don't know where they're going with it, or if it's legit. Maybe it's not a severe, but he just can't be in the match or some shit like that. I don't know what the problem is, but they stopped the match. Andrade gets the win because of referee stoppage. It didn't seem legit, like we said, because they didn't put the X up. Normally, when a guy's really hurt like that, they don't let him continue because he was selling it almost the entire match. Him jumping up. If he has a legitimate injury and he's selling it, he's not going to jump off the top rope to like try to cause a stoppage.
No, of course.
You can hurt it even worse. It could be like a MCL sprain or something like that. And he jumps off and he tears it or some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
something like that, but it's a shame because they were building up Apollo the entire night, and you kind of felt like, hey, like we said earlier, he doesn't really have like he's not the most charismatic guy, but they're trying to work your younger guys or guys that haven't really been around, like on the show too much when they had the time now because a lot of their guys can't show up to the events. So you were hoping maybe he gets a push, just even if it's a good mid card or U.S. title fight or something like that. But again, he just falls flat at the end. It just they have the thing with the injury. Now God knows what's going to happen. He's not in the Money in the Bank anymore. It's just. I feel bad for Apollo. I really do. He's just like,
no, yeah, dude. It sucks for him. Whatever reason is behind this, I don't know, but it does suck for him if it's not, if it's out of his control. And maybe he comes back and goes on a feud with Andrade for the U.S. title. Maybe he's out for maybe till after a little bit after Money in the Bank, and he starts a feud with Andrade, but like, oh, you hurt me, took me out of Money in the Bank, I'm coming for you. And
or it could be a thing where he has to earn a spot again, maybe on one leg kind of deal, but that storyline, and then he's in the Money in the Bank with one leg, maybe wins it, where he adds more to like the the underdog babyface story, which could be good, but right now we don't know, so we'll see what happens.
Next thing on the show was, I believe, Street Profits.
Promo where they basically answered the call. The Viking Raiders next week. We got a tag team championship match between the Viking Raiders, Street Profits. So it should be a fun match.
Two babyface teams. I don't know. Let's see what happens. Next thing on the show, guys, and there was a team of Ricochet and Cedric Alexander versus Everrise. We've seen this team previously before.
The Quebecers.
Really nothing special. Kind of is what it is. Last week Ricochet, 2 weeks ago, they lost to the Viking Raiders in their first match together, Ricochet Alexander, which sucked. Shouldn't have happened. Next week, the week after, they took on Vink and Thorn, and they won that match to showcase themselves, their tag team maneuvers, all that stuff like that. So that was good. This week, it's a decent little match. It's kind of
nothing special.
It's whatever, but it's more of a squash match, so it didn't really be able to showcase more of the cool moves they can do together because both high flyers, both athletic. So the match ends. Ricochet Alexander get the win. MVP comes on the screen, and he has a new team. That he's running, and it's Vink and Thorn. And
he's got an eye for talent, baby. He's got an eye for talent.
Eye for talent. They cannot win a match, I assume, because they haven't won shit. They're just kind of guys that are there, and they put them in tag team matches, right? So
and they jobbed out on SmackDown, NXT, and Raw. They jobbed out.
Yeah, exactly. So now MVP says he has a match for the Ricochet and Alexander next week, and he gets Thorn and Vink, which nobody's really excited about. Nobody really cares. Nope. This is a generic ass team that Vink and Thorn are just thrown together, and what's the point of MVP running with them? I have no idea. But it is what it is. Next thing on the show, guys, it is the last thing on the show. It's takeaway number 3, and it is the contract signing for Money in the Bank between Rollins and Drew McIntyre for the World Championship, the WWE Championship. So they're both in the ring. I really, 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 really like the promo from Seth Rollins.
Yeah, it was really good.
Quiet.
He's doing his best stuff right now.
Yeah, he's doing his best stuff as like this Messiah Jesus type character.
Yeah.
So
follow me.
Yeah, follow me and all that stuff like that. Talking about he's a leader, and that title is his burden to bear. That Drew McIntyre doesn't have to hold that burden. He'll do it, and he'll run the company. He'll be the leader because he's a proven leader. Very, very good stuff from him. A lot of religious innuendo type things that he was throwing in there, which is very, very well done. And Drew McIntyre was a little bit more serious this week. We talked about last week. He was more he's a little bit too jokey.
Yeah, he needs to be more serious.
Yeah, he needs to be more
intense, serious. Which today was, but last night he was perfect because he literally told him, "You're full of shit, Seth." So
exactly, that's what I wanted to get to.
Anger.
He said, "Seth, you're full of shit," and they didn't bleep it out. Nothing surprising that he was able to say that.
I like angry Drew.
Yeah, angry Drew is good. But yeah, so they signed a contract, and Drew smashes his head on the table.
Hard too.
Right?
It looked good.
And then he's setting up for the Claymore kick, and here comes Buddy Murphy, who we haven't seen Rollins and Buddy Murphy together for a while.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
He comes out and hits Drew with an enziguri, and then comes to go pick up Rollins. And Rollins kind of pushes Murphy away, and then they have an interesting stare down, right? They stare at each other, and then Rollins goes in for the hug, and they embrace hard, he really embraces him. I kind of wish though he would have called him said a thank you, thank you, my child, or something like that. You know how a
cult leader,
or a deity type of thing, something like that. They call everybody that follows my child and stuff like that. I kind of wish they would have went with that. He would have called him my child. I thought that would have been a good little touch to it, and it would have given it more heat. But he embraced him, and then here comes Drew with the Claymore kick. I think Murphy pushed Rollins out the way.
Well, it was kind of I guess he heard him coming. He just kind of moved up
around the way and let Murphy take it.
And Murphy took it usually put your hands up. He just bang, took it right in the face.
At this point, Murphy's the martyr, and he's gonna take everything he can to save Rollins. But yeah, like again, I kind of wish he would have called him like my child or something like that.
Yeah, no, it would have
plays better into like that religious.
One line away, they were just one line away to add that that connection.
Yeah, that's better. But I'm really like I didn't like the whole Messiah. Not that I didn't like his character. I just hated the fact that they kept saying Monday Night Messiah, Monday Night Messiah. It's repetitive. It's long. And it's one of those things WWE just runs into the ground like they normally do because they want to trademark everything and all that shit like that. They should call him the Messiah. It doesn't have to say Monday night. Just call him the Messiah. It's simpler, right? And it's less annoying to hear over and over again.
Which maybe they want you to be annoyed because he's a heel. So I don't know. There's also that thing. Maybe he's doing his job. They're probably doing their job because you're annoyed by it.
I guess, yeah. But not annoyed. Like I'm annoyed where I don't want to hear it anymore. Not that it makes me mad. It's just like, fuck, stop saying it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's annoying. It's like stop saying I'm hearing it too much. Yeah. But like I said, I really like his cadence right now and how he's delivering his promos. They're quiet.
He's doing his best stuff.
He's not showing like a ton of emotion because he seems like like more like a cult leader, and he's very just straightforward and right at you. But I really enjoyed the segment. Really excited for the match. This is probably the best guy they could have chosen for Drew McIntyre at this point right now, especially with the depleted roster that they have. Maybe it's a little bit rushed because they're having their match already. But
like with the way the situation is right now, just the way the business is right now, it makes sense. Like,
I don't know if they're gonna have this match in the Performance Center like for the pay-per-view, or is it gonna be in the ring the ring on top of
the way I'm thinking? No, yeah, you're right. I mean, I think the event is gonna be at Performance Center for people that are in the Money in the Bank, and the Money in the Bank matches will be up in Connecticut. That's the way I feel it will be done, but I have no fucking clue.
It'd be cool to have everybody just wrestle on the roof.
Like on the roof, just change up because like Performance Center is getting kind of stale. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, it is. Guys, that's the show. That is Monday Night Raw. Our 3 takeaways. The shit that sucked is gonna have to be that. I was gonna say the triple threat women's match because it was just. I think they ruined that and they should have just waited. But I think it's got to be MVP with Vink and Thorne. That shit sucks. Nobody cares about. It's corny, dude.
That's gonna kill Cedric Alexander and Ricochet. Like it's like nobody
done. Like that feud. Like done. Seriously, like I'd rather just see MVP and somebody else as a tag team take them on.
At this point, you might as well just put those 2 guys in NXT, Ricochet and just put them back in NXT or maybe on SmackDown or just to break them up because this is not gonna work. I can tell you right now, this is not putting anybody over Vink and Thorne. If they beat Vink and Thorne, whoop-de-freaking do, because MVP's our manager.
It's going to be a 1-week program because you ain't going to have MVP establish Cedric and Ricochet out of that match and have them lose.
Nobody cares about Vink and Thorne, and we're supposed to get behind this new tag team that's 3 weeks old. Like, I don't know. It's just
nobody cares about that. Guys, that is the shit that sucked, all right? Tonight, which is Tuesday night, Dark Side of the Ring. I'm not sure who they're doing it on this week.
That's Dr. David Schultz.
Okay. Dr. David Schultz.
Which is awesome because he literally smacks a reporter in real life.
Yeah, you're going to see him smack John Stossel in the face when John Stossel basically just calls wrestling fake to his face. Slaps him up. It's like, that feel fake. So watch out for that. That is tonight. If you guys watch it, DVR it, whatever you guys want to do. No, that's pretty much it. Nothing else. We got the Wednesday Night Wars coming up. Like I said, I'm dropping Call of Duty, funny Call of Duty video. And then we got Friday Night SmackDown coming up on Friday. We drop those videos. Hit that notification bell so you guys aren't missing it. Thanks again, guys, for watching. Remember, if it doesn't work for you, brother, do not do the job.
Later, Marks.